All right. So, what happens if you send 100,000 cold emails? I had the same exact question after my podcast with Cody Schneider from a month or so ago. If you haven't watched it, it was an insane podcast. Here's a link to it up here. But the idea behind it is great, right? With a new project, instead of investing in SEO, which is highly profitable but can take time, why not try something like cold emailing, where you can basically send 100,000 emails to a bunch of people, see if they're interested. You might get instant sales or instant feedback. You sell now and then you SEO later. So that sounds great, especially when you work backwards and you think about the average kind of conversion of these emails, right? So of the 100,000, around 20 to 30,000 people open it, and then all the way down, you get between 10 to 500, obviously depends on a lot of different variables here, but 10 to 500 new customers. And so I'm specifically trying to do this for my SEO software, which, by the way, if you haven't heard of it, it's the best beginner friendly, affordable SEO data tool, all in one tool. For $25 a month, you get the 4 core SEO features, just like any other SEO tool like Ahrefs or SEMrush. Plus, I'm building a rank tracker in right now. It's going to be the best bang for your buck SEO tool available out there. But anyway, so let's say that people on average spend around $30 for my software. If I was to get 200 people to sign up at that $30 price, I would add $6,000 in monthly recurring revenue. That's crazy, right? Especially given how difficult it is to generate this type of revenue with any other type of growth type of tactic, right? So how's it going? So I basically have a absolutely massive list of 146,000 leads that I've cleaned up and filtered and now uploaded to my email software, and I've separated it by groups of 5,000 leads where I'm going to be able to test a bunch of different things. Now, this first campaign is still super early. The open rate is decent. The reply rate is terrible. Again, I'm not a cold email expert. Still a lot of things to improve. But what I realized while I was doing this is that this took me a while to learn and to research. And so I figured that while I'm getting all this data, I'm instead going to make a video showing you guys how to get all this done, how to set up all of this. And then once I have all that data, I'll do a second video and I'll show you guys exactly what's working for my campaigns. But anyway, let's talk about the setup here. So if we want to send 100,000 people emails, what do we need? We need, number one, emails, right? We're going to buy a bunch of domains and inboxes. We can't send emails from our own domain. That's going to destroy our email domain reputation. We're going to land in spam, get blocked, etc. So there's specific domains that we can buy for this specifically. Number two, 100,000 people. Where do we find 100,000 leads to contact, and how do we make sure that they're high quality? So we're going to be looking at lead databases and BuiltWith, which is what I used. Really interesting tool. And then number three, sending the emails, right? Copywriting. I'm not a cold email or copywriting expert, but there's quite a few tips that I've learned through my research of how not to land in spam. All right. So number one, email. So we need a bunch of domains and inboxes. As we said before, we don't want to ruin the reputation of our main domain. So to do that, we need to buy a bunch of domains, and per domain, we're going to have 2 to 3 email addresses, 2 to 3 inboxes. That's what's recommended. And then per inbox, we're going to warm up those emails for 3 to 4 weeks. Before that, we can't start sending mass emails. And again, per inbox, per email, we're then, after the warm up, going to be able to send a max of 30 emails per day, just to make sure that we're not overdoing it so that email servers don't see that we're mass emailing a bunch of people. I've started out with 15 inboxes, so that's 5 domains times 3 inboxes. I'm sending around 450 emails a day. And so we have to wait a bit for the warm-up. This is kind of the part that's kind of annoying. And we can do all this manually, which is a massive pain in the ass, or we can use Instantly, which is what I'm doing. I'm not affiliated with these guys. They're not paying me or anything. But there is an affiliate link. If you guys want to sign up, try it out with Instantly, go ahead and use that link, or don't, up to you. Now, the cool thing with Instantly is I have all these emails, but they do it super easy. When you do this manually, if you look up other tutorials, they do it manually and it looks insane. They have this done for you email setup. So for example, say I have the domain vegan cakes. They're going to suggest a bunch of different domains. I can select whatever. Let's say I select 5 of them. They're going to allow me to buy these domains, decent price, $15 a domain. And then they suggest a bunch of different emails per domain. So 3 inboxes per all of those domains. And then if anyone happens to reach out to that email that they get in their inbox, that domain, which isn't your main domain, they've already been redirected to your original, to your main business domain. So no need to worry about that. So they help you with the setup. You pay $150 for 15 emails. It's important to note that there is also a monthly price for the emails because there's a lot of upkeep in terms of the email warm up. And then what happens is that you have something like this. So I haven't done any warm up. I haven't done any of the things that you usually do. They do all this for you. So they send all the warm up emails. None of the emails are landing in spam. And so now when I go and actually send my emails for my campaign, we say I have a health score of 100. All those emails are going to properly land in the right inbox. And so I would recommend doing it with Instantly. They kind of get rid of all the manual stuff and help you do it really quickly. And then we're going to have to wait a couple of weeks while those emails are being warmed up so they have enough reputation to properly start sending 30 emails a day for your cold email campaign. Now next, number 2, how do we find 100,000 people to contact and how do we make sure that they're actually proper leads? So number 1, I use builtwith.com. So this is a really great website where you can basically find what different websites are built with, right? So for example, let's say I have an e-commerce product or I have an e-commerce agency. I can find all the different websites that are using Shopify to build their website. So here I can download the list of all the websites using Shopify. If you think this is cheap, you can think again, guys, because the plans are insane. It's $295 monthly. But what I would recommend is if you can't find this data anywhere else, just pay for 1 month, get all the data, and then cancel it. The other option that people use is that they use something like Apollo.ai. I actually have it open here. Basically, this is a massive database of people, 290 million people, and you can filter people by company, by job title. So let's say I'm looking for a marketing manager. I want to pitch my SEO tool to them. So I can find those marketing managers in the US with whatever job title. I can do all that, and I can then export all that and then import it into Instantly for my cold email. There's a lot of different alternatives here for Apollo as well. So once we have that list of people, what I would recommend is using something like Neverbounce or whatever competitor. I'm sure there's other ones. We basically want them to clean our email list to make sure that all the emails that we have are actually real emails. Now, a final thing I want to say in terms of leads is I found this tool, and I do just want to say, be very careful with this tool, guys. It looks quite sketchy. For some reason, it worked with me. So what they say is that they can export whatever list of leads you'd like from different software. So from Apollo, from G2, from LinkedIn, and even from BuiltWith. The only thing with BuiltWith, it was only the domain. So then you have to find the emails, which is kind of annoying. But I think with Apollo, you do get all the emails. It's super cheap. Maybe try it out, but just be careful. Hard to find any other info on this company, but they do export a bunch of different lists. Try it out if you'd like. Again, be very careful with it. Now, we've gotten everything set up. We have those emails that are warmed up, all those inboxes. We have our list of people. We then move forward into sending and creating those campaigns. So with Instantly, it's super easy. I go into campaigns here. I add a new campaign, continue, and then I add whatever leads I have with CSV or whatever emails or whatever type of method. Now, in terms of the cold email strategy and copywriting, it's a whole world of its own. How many sequences you send, how many emails you send, what's the best subject line. There's a lot of info on YouTube, probably better info than I'll give you. But these are just some tips from my personal research in terms of the best thing to include in these emails to make sure that you land in the inbox and you get some type of attention. Number 1, keep it short, right? Just imagine you yourself opening up an email. You're not going to read an email that has 4 or 5 paragraphs, but 2 or 3 lines, maybe you will. Number 2, personalize it as much as you can. It makes it seem like the other person cares a lot more. Number 3, strong subject line. All you want to do with a subject line is try and get them to open the email, and then you have a little bit more of their attention. And then A/B testing. It works really well with Instantly for the campaign that's running right now, as we can see on the way in the bottom. So I'm testing 3 different things in the first step, and we see that so the subject lines of these 2 emails are performing better than the A version here. And last but not least, no links in the first email. I had no idea about this, but apparently adding links in the first email does hurt deliverability, and we're trying to maximize landing our emails in the inbox. So yeah, guys, that's all the advice I have for now. Hopefully that helped you guys. If you have any questions, leave them down below. And as soon as I have more results, I'll be sharing all of that in another video on this channel. So subscribe, check out Clicks.so, and instantly links to all that in the bottom. And I'll see you guys in the next one.